Tay Kinney is set to begin his official visit to Mark Pope's Kentucky Wildcats today. Tay Kinney is a native of Newport, Kentucky, one of the best point guards in the class of 2026. We have talked quite a bit about how it feels like a Louisville versus Kentucky head-to-head battle for Tay Kinney's services down the line. But Jack Pilgrim from KSR, shout out to Jack, had a new interview with Tay Kinney that you can read through the On3 Kentucky site and through KSR. But Tay Kinney spoke specifically about the potential of playing with Jasper Johnson. Reminder, Jasper and Tay have been teammates through Overtime Elite in the last year, and they just went to the Team USA training camp together as well, which Mark Pope has been an assistant coach for. So there's a lot of good stuff in this interview. You get a sense of Tay Kinney's personality a little bit, like the competitive energy that he brings to the table. He said, I'm just going to say one guy about Jasper. I'm a better overall player than him. I shoot better than him, dribble better than him, dunk better than him. They asked him, what does Jasper do better than you? And he said, nothing. So that's the type of relationship we've got building here. But on a serious note, Tay Kenny did talk about how it would be fun to potentially pair with Jasper down the line. And this is what he told Jack Pilgrim. He said, quote, I just want to see him succeed. I'm just going to see how he does this year. Maybe follow him? I don't know yet. This is right in line with something you've been saying for months right now. You have hypothesized that Tay Kenny's approach to what could decide where he goes between Kentucky and Louisville will be watching what their freshman guards do this year. Louisville has Michael Brown in the mix with a lot of veteran guards, and Kentucky has Jasper Johnson in the mix with a lot of veteran guards. If you're Tay Kenny, maybe you see which one has a better year, which one gets more opportunities, how they're used, all of that. But this is what Tay Kenny's saying, right? Basically, I'm going to watch what he does this year. Are you feeling, I don't know, emboldened with your stance that that's what's going to decide this recruitment?
Yeah, because I think it's whether recruits want to say it out loud or not, a big part of this is like what their role is going to be. Like not all recruits are okay with coming in and sitting. Like they want to play basketball, they want to play a certain style. And I think everyone has different things that make them tick and make them go. And obviously I don't know Tay Kenny personally. I'm just going off of just vibes that I feel and just how he carries himself. He doesn't strike me as like come off the bench because of an older guy or something like that. I think he's a guy that wants to play. I think like you said, he's a competitor. I think he's a kid that um I think he relishes in being in the spotlight, right? Like I think he's got a little bit of like he knows his brand and he knows he's got the big following and things like that. He likes being not because I feel like this term carries a negative connotation, but I think he does kind of want to be center of attention ish, and how he's on a basketball team, and that mindset might align with maybe another program more than the other one, and it might come down to that, even if like, let's say Kentucky's more successful than Louisville this year, right? That might not be the end all be all. They can be more successful, but like I just watched Jasper Johnson play 10 minutes a game off the bench. Do I really want to sign up for that? Or I'm looking over at Louisville and I feel like Tay Kenny views himself in the same limelight as Michael Brown, which you can say if that's right or wrong. It's wrong, but he might want to just be in that situation, and that's kind of how kids tick and how they operate.
So you were alluding to maybe this mentality Tay has fits one program better than the other. Are you implying that's Louisville and not Kentucky?
I think so, yes.
Why?
I mean, I think just a lot of surrounding. I think the whole like OTE, the Rod Wave Elite, the like he's got his own water, he does like the whole TikTok 6'7" trend. I
Why
feel like
can't you do that at Kentucky? What makes all of that more Louisville than Kentucky?
I just think that's not kind of how Mark Pope is running things, at least in my like it's more like gratitude, not it's what's the word? It's less not flashy to me at Kentucky. I think it's a little bit more flashy at Louisville.
Mark Pope is preaching play for the name on the front of the jersey, and Pat
Yeah,
Kelsey is preaching
and
do whatever you want with your
Pat
brand.
Kelsey's like, I want to run some post routes. Like that. There's a little bit of that, and that's not a bad thing, right? Like that resonates with people. You can get talent like that. I'm not even saying like basketball coaching acumen wise. I'm just saying I feel like Mark Pope is a little bit more even keel kind of program above all type situation where I think Pat Kelsey is a guy who has like a little more flash to him.
This video is brought to you by NBA 2KLab.com. 2K Lab worked with us last summer as well. They're one of our favorite entities in all of sports gaming. We want to show you their college basketball stadium locator challenge game. And I'm going to share a screen right now as we do this. South Carolina, bang. Oh,
Ooh,
okay, that's pretty good. Next, North Carolina. Why are we only getting the Carolinas?
please
Bang.
lock in.
St. John's, that's New
New
York.
York.
Bang.
Where's New Jersey?
We're on fire. Colorado. I actually don't know what state Colorado is.
It's in Colorado. There's a state of
Is that
Colorado.
this one?
It's to the right of Phoenix.
Anyway, you get the picture. This game's really fun. They've got more games as well, like Guess the NBA Player, Mystery Fantasy Draft, and more. Stay tuned for all of the college football content and games that they'll be putting together to help you get the best experience out of college football 26. Back to the video. Yeah, I guess that's fair. Yeah, I think I don't know. The part of this I found interesting. Like, what's he gonna tell? What's he gonna tell KSR in an interview? Right? Like, oh no, I'm not. I don't care about that. Like, he's gonna play up the interest if KSR is like, would you think about playing with Jasper? Like, of course he's gonna. Yeah, I'm gonna pay attention to this. Maybe do it. I don't know. The interesting part of this interview to me by far was him talking about his like joking relationship with Jasper. Like
Mhm.
sometimes you wouldn't hear a kid come out and just be like, "Yeah, I'm better than him at everything." Like obviously there is a real competitive fire to Tay Kinney. You kind of alluded to the fact that he's not a Michael Brown level player, but Tay Kinney probably, based on all of these comments, firmly believes he's a one and done. And I don't know, you might get a little bit of a look behind this, like the idea of are you going to go to Kentucky to play with Jasper Johnson? Sort of inherently requires Jasper Johnson to stick around for 2 years.
Mhm.
Which, if we don't know how Jasper's wired, is Jasper wired the same way Tay Kinney is, as an overtime elite kid who's like, I'm a pro, I'm ready to go. What are you doing here? I don't know. I think you're right. It's kind of an odd, I don't want to say odd fit, but odd mixture of like trying to get these two to play together at Kentucky at the program that's all about the name on the front. Meanwhile, Jasper and Tay both think they're one and dones, and they're looking across the state at Louisville, where Michael is going to be a one and done and taken second overall in the draft next year. So I don't know. It's going to be fascinating. I'm certainly not counting Kentucky out. I think they're very much in the mix, but I think their pitch is a little, I don't know, just in an interesting spot compared to what Louisville can offer for all the reasons that you mentioned. What do you think would need to happen for Jasper if Tay Kinney says he's going to watch what happens this year and then maybe follow him? What does Tay Kinney want to see from Jasper Johnson at Kentucky that would swing him toward Mark Pope's program instead of Pat Kelsey's?
I think he wants to see him play a lot. I think he wants to see him have the ball in his hands a little bit too. Obviously, like is Jelon Lowe technically a junior?
Yes.
So he would have multiple years, but I just think that he probably wants to see Jasper not fall by the wayside. Which also, by the way, this is speaking just Tay Kenny looking at Kentucky. I'll tell you right now, if Kentucky's successful and it's with Jasper Johnson in a 10 minute a game role, you keep rolling with that, right? If you're Kentucky, you're not changing the way you operate just so you can like show what you can do to Tay Kenny. It's about winning basketball games and being successful. But I don't know. I feel like I come at a good talking point on this one because I feel like Michigan State is the same way. Like I feel like Michigan State has this inherent thing where they, the 5 stars got to earn it. We're not going to start this person. Like Jace Richardson was a lottery pick, and he only played a certain amount of minutes a game, and we won the Big Ten by 3 games, and maybe it did hurt Jace's draft stock or something like that. But it's about the program and what happened with that. But I mean, I think he wants to see what Jasper's role is going to be. And I think that would be a role where he's a contributor. He's playing a lot of minutes and also probably having the ability to having the ball in his hands a little bit.
Yeah, respectfully, there are other Tay Kenneys out there, so Kentucky's not going to change what they do for Tay Kinney. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and that brings me to my next point. They're also in recruitments for better point guards in this class.
Or better guards in general. Who's the better point guards they're after?
They're in on Brandon McCoy, aren't they?
I think so, yeah.
Yeah, he's better than Tay McKinney. Sorry, Tay McKinney. I saw Tay Kenny.
You
Um,
just got me, and now I want to pair Tay Kinney with Trey McKinney.
a Kenny McKinney backcourt.
That would be an all-time backcourt. Tay and
It would
Trey
be pretty.
McKinney. Kinney.
But like Tay Kenny's good, but like there's other guards that I think they're in. I'm not even sure if they're in on Mingo or not, but like there's other point. Even like is it like Ike Elozier, something like that? Like there's other better point guards in this. Shit, even Jason Crow, whether think he's a point guard or not.
And like Caleb Holt, who Jordan Smith Jr., right?
Yeah,
They're in on a lot of five-star guards. So I think Kentucky's going to be fine regardless. But
yeah, that's
yeah,
having fun for Kentucky.
yeah,
Um,
I don't know. It's going to be interesting because he's watching Jasper. Is Jasper a projected starter?
Probably not if you ask most people.
Probably not, would be my guess. Now, I think the best thing for Kentucky would be he's good enough that he earns being a starter. But I would assume Tay Kinney's not a huge fan of that if that's what happens to Jasper. We'll see. Interesting stuff. Shout out to Jack and KSR for putting this together. Always fun to get a little more insight on where these recruitments are headed.